An interesting study from the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, has estimated that over 14.3 million Nigerians between the ages of 15 and 64 years are engaged in drug abuse. Here, we believe that it's important to break the cycle of silence. Not only does sharing our testimonies help others to heal, but our stories can be a catalyst for healing in other people's lives. Remember, this is a place of peace and healing through talk. My name is Maria Chike Benjamin, and I am your host. There's a famous quote that says, "Though no one can go back to make a brand new start, anyone can start from now to make a brand new beginning." This is a testimony of our guest on today's episode, a man who took back control of his life to make a new beginning. Please help me welcome a pharmacist, Humphrey Julius. Thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome on the show, Healing with Maria. Humphrey. How are you today?
I'm doing okay.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure you're super excited, just as I am, to share your tremendous, amazing story with us.
I'm happy to share my story to the world.
Can you just tell us a little bit about your family background, your school background before everything started?
Okay, I am the first out of 7. I and my sister from my mom. My mom is late, and then 5 other step siblings. Is that complicated?
No.
Okay. And also I'm from my father's father. That's my grandfather, was a veteran.
Okay.
So he fought this Nigeria war. Then I'm not sure what war it was, but he fought for. The reason why I had to say that it's just for you to know that I grew up in a military setting.
Right. Okay.
Although not from the barrack, but my dad instilled, a military kind of setting onto me.
Within you guys.
In a nutshell, growing up was very strict,
Okay.
discipline. My education, coming up, I was I'm using the word was, very, very intelligent and brilliant. I'm not sure if I am still.
Of course you are. We're sure you are.
And the reason why I'm saying this is because I was exceptionally brilliant. I shouldn't have found my way into drug abuse. I was also the senior prefect in Christ School, Ekiti.
Wow.
Up to my secondary school days, I was very clean, I gained admission into university, and I also had admission to study in OAU.
Okay.
Yes, then. So I gained admission into pharmacy school.
Great. Can you please talk us through your first experience, when you first started using drugs, your first experience?
So it all started when I was in my year 2 in Obafemi Awolowo University. First year you have to stay on campus, and second year you have to stay off campus. So I stayed off campus, and I wasn't lucky enough to have a neighbor who was also a focused person. Not abusing drugs. So my neighbor back then was a conch smoker.
Okay.
And when I mean conch smoker, it was taking all sorts of...
What was he taking?
I was taking Colorado, it was taking Mali Kush, it was taking Loud, it was taking all sorts of, I would make mention of all of those, as time goes on. So the thing was, I was a secondary smoker, of course. This is his room, this is my room, opposite. Secondary smoker, he smokes, and then I inhale. So 247. And then funny enough, he already spent 7 years on campus. He was in civil engineering, and then he was kicked out. He had to go back to physical education. So he was already an OG there. So, but I noticed something about him. He's always awake. There's just something about people who smoke. Even when I smoke, we're always awake. Always awake most of the time.
Okay.
Because we have to hunt for the next cash to fuel our addicted lifestyle. So we are always awake. So I noticed this guy is always awake. And then I was a good guy. The activities of pharmacy school was too much already. And also I was into tutoring, JAMB, post-JAMB, students, WIC students. So the activities were just too much. So I'll get home dead tired.
Okay.
So there will be no time for me to write my lab notes, to study and all of this. So I knocked on this guy's door one day. May so rest in peace.
Oh, he's dead.
Yes, drug abuse. He ran into a trailer on
He's
the New
always
Year.
in peace.
So rest in peace. So I knocked on his door one day and said, please, can you please wake me up at night? I know you're always awake. Whenever I'm awake, you're awake. Whenever I'm sleeping, I know you're awake. Just please wake me up. So, a couple of weeks, he tried knocking. All these guys, they don't even send you. If you are not on their lane, they don't. But just because whenever he smokes, he'll be hungry, and then I'm a good boy, I'll cook. Humphrey, you get food for the I say, yes, now, yeah. Show me love now. I'll give him food. So there and then, he tried knocking. I was dead flat. So one day, he told me that, guy, come. Why do you do like this? Just take one puff. It's not kill you. That's what he said. And then my head was like, no, I am not smoking. But mind you, before I got there, I was not a smoker. My psychological will to say no was very strong. But because I was there, I was a secondary smoker. So my psychological will to say no would, drop.
A little bit more.
But of course, I was still very strong to say no. So one day, after like some months, just came with another device and be like, okay, since you said you don't want to smoke, and then that's nice, I will not make you do what you don't want to do. Because someone like me now, he was referring to himself, I can control myself, I only smoke when I want to, but that's all lies. And I said, okay, take this pill, at least to keep you awake. I'm like, what pill is this? It was like, it's tramadol. I'm like, okay, how would tramadol keep me awake? Like, I was like, just try it. Me as a pharmacy student and, a few with that's what they always call us. So I took the tramadol pill. I said, let me go and read about it. So reading about it, I said, tramadol is supposed to increase libido and all of those now. Like, but now just try it, not free, just try it. So I collected the tramadol, I popped it. The first night. Funny enough, I was awake, sort of. During my findings, and I found out that tramadol that are being produced then were already banned coming into Nigeria. And those tramadol were made up of cocaine shafts.
Okay.
You get black market tramadol. Virtually all tramadols. Tramadols are even prescription drugs now. But the tramadol outside they are made up of cocaine. And one thing cocaine will do to you is keep you awake. Banku. So I took tramadol, the first pill, I popped the second, then I started staying awake. After the first pill, the second pill. And funny enough, my body started, getting used to it, the old tolerance. One pill wasn't enough anymore. 2 pills wasn't enough. 3 pills. Before you have card, I started taking full card, That was when my grades started going down. As soon as I started that drug, it helped me to spend 5 years in OAU, plus or minus 1 or 2 years because of strike.
Okay.
So I spent maximum of 6 years. Can you guess how many years I spent? No. I spent a whole whooping 11 years in school. Yes. So that's it. Like my grades started coming down because I started losing focus.
Focus and
I started losing focus.
Wow.
No. In a day, normally I'll go to tutorial center. I'll spend, by the time I teach 1 hour, they'll give me 1,000 naira or 500 naira. Then I'll be okay. Times 5, that's 3,500. That one will take me for the week. But that 3,500 couldn't take me for half a day anymore. Because one card, by the time you buy tramadol, and me buying tramadol, I have to sort the person giving me tramadol. And then his friends. Because drug addicts don't work single-handedly. They work in gang.
Yeah.
You understand?
Was it, sorry to cut you off, was it just tramadol that you would put at the time? Okay.
That was the beginning, tramadol. So the tramadol kicked in, my psychological willpower to say no to smoke now reduced drastically to the point in which one day I just said, Omole, that's when I said, rest in peace. Give me that, let me even know what is happening. Funny enough, unfortunately, I now started with the most dangerous strain, Colorado. No, Colorado is not natural, it's synthetic. It's made up of chemicals. I'm a pharmacist now, so I know all of this. I'm telling my life story. So, well, I went deep down. You get? So I took Colorado. He was already used to taking the Colorado. I never knew Colorado is puff pass, or you first take 1 or 2 if you are a beginner. But me, I now smoked it like as if I was smoking cigar.
Wow.
We did under 10 minutes. So I took that Colorado, and then I took a lot of puffs, and then I ran mad instantly. But that madness was just, 1 hour madness. No, it's called psychosis.
Okay, then, I know psychosis.
After you see all of these people now, when you go online, that by the time they smoke, they now start eating their plank or pouring them water. They'll be shouting, hey! It's like a trance. You are still alive, but you are not
feel
just flowing with what
a
is
bit,
happening in real
okay.
life.
Wow.
You understand? And then that lasted for like probably 30 minutes, 1 hour. So by the time I finally came up, I already saw him pin me down because he was more muscular than me, pouring water on me, you know. Like, I don't know if he probably hit me or something because I wasn't feeling any pain anyway. But people always ask me, how do you remember these stuff? I'll tell them, ask from any addict, anybody who smokes or does all of this, they all remember. The only person who does not remember whatever thing happens to him are drunkards.
Back to what you were saying about your psychosis and how everything had happened. Where were your family at this point? Were you still in contact with them? Were you talking with them? Didn't they know what you were going through?
My family, like I said earlier on, I lost my mom when I was very young, so I had siblings, and then I was kicked into boarding school, like at a very young age. And coupled with the fact that I was academically sound, my parents actually felt, that's my dad and my stepmom, actually felt I would not be a bad, should I say bad boy? I would not join bad associate. And then when I was having my bad grades repeating classes, all I just had to say to them was, oh, you know, OAU, the old strike, the old this, the old that. So they actually loose-guarded on checking up on me at that point. You get, and whatever story I give to them, I give to them. So that's it. So they were not really monitoring my day-to-day activity. So after the tramadol, then me getting into smoke, I told you the very first smoke I took was Colorado. Then after which I got used to that, then started taking every other smoke. The Canadian Loud, Ghana Loud, Mali Kush, anything rappable. You get. After then, I started mixing with guys. And then our only goal then was look for money to survive. And how do we survive those drugs? Those drugs became very expensive. You know, then with that, we started, you know, connecting, linking up, sourcing for updates. Then I used to be very good online, you know. You get meeting people, just say, I'm meeting you now. I started climbing up the ladder, you know, that ladder. You know, it's a different world. Started climbing up. Before you know it, the tramadol wasn't enough. The Confucius wasn't enough because we had to stay awake to start monitoring what is not logs. You know, the inboxes, the blah, blah, blah. So you have to be awake. Sometimes we would want to be awake for like 2 days, 3 days. All what I'm just driving at is we found our way into cocaine and cracks. Because cocaine and cracks will keep you awake. There are sometimes I'll stay awake for 2 weeks.
No sleep?
No sleep. That's what Banku does, crack.
No sleep?
No sleep. That's
How was your health? Were you not?
Of course, I started growing lean, you know, looking unkept. But my main focus was, I need these funds. So to cut the story short, you know, I already like gave a summary of all the drugs to the point of injecting myself, blah, blah, blah. That's fentanyl, you know. I had to leave school for a while. But before I left school, I did some episodes there, you know, due to overdose of drugs. Yeah, so I remember at a point, I had to celebrate birthdays for my dog in OAU. This is life.
Your dog?
I had 2 dogs then. Then at that point, you know, you'll be thinking something else. Like, you just be in another way. I thought these dogs are my most loyal people. And then all my girlfriends then were, you know, backstabbing me, blah, blah.
Were your girlfriends into the same lifestyle? Drugs?
Yes, of course now. I cannot date a church girl now. So before I even date you, must smoke with me. Where we must smoke? I had so many heartbreaks then. And then my dogs were always there. I was like, okay, there was a time, okay, probably I catch down these dogs, let's go and celebrate. I took them to a bar. It's called Abugo Bar in OAU. You know, I shut down. The people there had to, I told the barman, don't worry. I'll pay out. Then celebrating the birthday, in my head, I thought I had maybe 10 million or whatever. In my account then, probably I had like 300K then. That was in school. Of course, I was actually hallucinating. I was thinking I already cashed out, but there was no even money. I was still expecting. So I had to pop. After popping, I couldn't pay. And then still without pay, not paying. Which I was not like, don't you know me? Is it today I'm balling? Like, I'll pay. That at the bar? Like, at the bar, I was like, no, Humphrey, you go pay. Why you pay? Why you go? But you know, so you don't even get, I think like, so I scattered this call, OE security, then I'll solicit. You know, when you take drugs, this kind of grandiosity.
Yeah, like you're the...
So I scattered everywhere. They took me to floor, blah, blah, in our school, that Senate building. I constituted nuisance, blah, blah. Before you know it, I was just fighting everybody. Before you know, the whole security grabbed me. What's your like you get this, like,
Okay.
Because the whole thing was they had to hold me, pay me down overnight, and I was not on my drugs, like abusing those drugs. So I was reacting.
Okay. You needed drugs.
I needed to calm myself down with, just anything. So I was very, very active. So that was the whole thing. They had to grab me. I remember vividly well. They were taking me to our health center. I had to jump off the e-locks. You get with chains on my hands and all of those.
Wow.
I feel like they had to pick me up again. These are what drugs do too. They took me to the health center. They injected me with the same drug I'm always taking, not this antidepressant, Refno and blah.
So they helped you?
It did not. I was even looking for more. I'm already like abusing almost all sorts of drugs. And this is actually an insight why most rehabilitation, not all, undergo therapeutic failure. You get what I'm trying to say? Because these guys are already used to these drugs.
And you're still injecting.
So all those antidepressants, Refno, blah, blah, all of those, they're already in me. So they were trying to calm me down, not knowing that me, myself, I'm already used to abusing these drugs. Whenever I take cocaine to stay awake, I also take Refno and benzodiazepines, carbamazepines, all these that are Tigritol that they were administering to me. I also self-medicate myself to sleep, to force sleep.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? So naturally, I'm already like used to abusing those
drugs.
So my body, I wasn't sleeping. They had to take me to mental ward, OEF. From there, they called my dad, blah, blah. They had to discharge me on Dama because I was not responding to treatment like others. Other people in the world, so I just people, probably their parents caught them smoking, and then before you could get out of hand, they are in the ward. So those ones are still responding. But in my own case, it has led to psychosis.
Wow.
Because
how did your dad feel?
Of course, every parent will cry.
Yeah.
But at that point, when my dad was crying, I was not emotional. I was like, what is you understand? You embarrassing, like, what's all this? Like, you get that kind of, I was not happy. I just wanted to leave that scenario. Like, okay, free me, like, I'm free, I'm fine,
but
I'm
you wouldn't
this, I'm that.
Understand what
From
they
them,
thought.
I was discharged on Dama after like some weeks. So my dad now took me back, and then getting home, now, every parent wants to be like, what's wrong with my child? What's wrong with my child? So now, like, this is spiritual, people, take him to church.
Wow.
So we went to church, they told him church. So I went to Select Church. I don't even go to church. They had to tie my hand, blah, blah. So the point to which they left me in their altar, I almost burned down that church. They chased me away. They said, your child, Oti, he's gone. So my dad, going on, parents would always find solutions. So the next thing, take him to Alpha. All of this, I'm just trying to say that when it comes to drug addiction, trying to come out, let's forget church. I'm just giving myself as
your advice.
Took me to Alpha, the same thing. Go, this guy, there's something, like, it seems there's blood, it seems he killed someone.
Wow.
Yeah, that would be the normal, African mentality. Like something. So I remember my dad taking me to traditional. So I remember going there, the Baba was like, then I was still, because I need my drugs, only those drugs that can calm me down.
Yeah.
You get, so all these ones you are doing, I don't, like, let's bury like chicken. As I was here, I just started destroying the ocean. Baba brought out on. But like, you want money for this? So the child just left me. So I now went to, and then there's something about addict, especially my own self then. I knew how to camouflage. So when I left there, whenever my dad is there, I'll so that I can leave, so that they can chase me. Now getting home, I'll now try to coordinate myself to tell my dad, like, see all of this thing that's happening. Me, I know what is doing me. It's not all of this. Just give me some money. Let me just, like, you get that kind of thing. So at a point, I started just some money, went back to smoke, started calming down again.
Humphrey, I'd like to ask, so how did you overcome all your addictions, and how did you come to sit on my chair with Healing with Maria? How are we here? How have you become this amazing person again?
All right, fine. So after the whole, my life story and all of this, my drug addicted lifestyle, I'm a pharmacist. I saw a better future, and then I knew right and then that what I was doing was wrong. So I tried as much as possible to come out of it. Though my psychological willpower and my determination to come out was very strong as well.
You did that by yourself?
Not by myself. That's, coming out of addiction is 80% psychological, 20% medical. Rehabilitation centers as well are to help in. Not one, not two, not three. You get, so
you were in rehab?
In rehab, back to back, you get. So I had to battle that for another 4 years, trying to come out clean. Then after which I now had to go back to school.
Okay.
And then that year I came out, I graduated.
Wow, that's
You get after
amazing.
11 years in school. Although it has not been easy. And then graduating out, recovery is supposed to be it's a lifetime
Of course, process.
journey, not just because it's way more than saying no to hard drugs. But you teaching yourself, getting busy, trying to heal your brain, try to teach yourself on how to make the best decision, and then that wouldn't happen if you are not busy in the right way.
Of course.
Okay, so I started, campaigning against drug abuse, and right now I'm on NDLA's Front magazine, just creating awareness. And even there was a time, International Federal Bureau of Narcotics coming. Whenever, anything drug abuse comes in, I'm always frontline for NDLA. And
we're running out of
that's it.
time and we're going to have to wrap it up. But do you remember when we first got in contact with you and you did mention a particular amazing skip maker that always kept you going throughout all your addictions and you watching him constantly? We managed to bring that amazing person to the show today. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome the one and only amazing Brother Shaggy. Thank you so much, Brother Shaggy, for coming on the show, Healing with Maria. It's a huge honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yes, I'm very happy to meet you. I'm very happy to meet you. During my episodes of during my recovery process, your skits were really amazing, and then they kept me going throughout my recovery process.
Thank you.
Whenever I'm depressed, all I have to do is just
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you. Actually, I've been backstage listening to your story, and it's really inspiring. I won't lie, drug abuse, it's something that's very, very common amongst our youth nowadays, and it has really destroyed a lot of youth, and trust me, I don't know if Jesus will have to come down to enter everybody's mind, because everybody they para. I tell you, because peer pressure, it has really affected a lot of people, and everybody some people don't even think, say, at the end of life for them. I've never been someone who take drugs, but I've known people who took drugs and ended up badly. It really affected and destroyed them. When you make your choices, you have to make them right. From the friends you make. This life, now your mama born you. Now you go run your race yourself. No matter how much your parents try. So, choices can destroy you. Do you get? Addiction is a very bad thing. But if you can quit for a day, you can quit for a lifetime.
Amen to that. Thank you so much, Brother Shaggy. It's such an honor having you here, and thank you for your kind words and your advice, obviously, for the viewers out there, to the youths out there. Humphrey, I cannot thank you enough for sharing your story. I'm sure people are out there listening and watching, and it's just to create awareness, help people. What you're dealing with, your current terrible situation, is not who you are, is not who you're destined to be. If you're out there, you're going through drugs, whatever it is, just know that there are people like you, and you can heal, and you can actually help yourself. We do have a lot of rehabilitation centers out there, like one of our partners, Highscent Global. It's a rehabilitation center. They help a lot of survivors of different categories and natures. So please, if you're out there and you're a victim, share your story. Even if you don't want to come on to share it to us, share it to the people around you, the people that love you. They're the best people that will help you throughout your addiction, whatever your addiction may be. It's peace and love and always light from us on the show, Healing with Maria. And like I've always said, this is a place of peace and healing through talk.